So we obviously don't know what to make of this, whether any of this is true. The sheriff at the press conference today did say that they were aware of this email and that they had also been looking into it, but didn't really go much farther than that. Phil, what do you make of it?
This is pretty basic. We used to have threat briefings every morning in the FBI director's office. I probably sat in on maybe, I'm going to guess, 2,000 threat briefings. We would have said this is an EDP, that is, an emotionally disturbed person. Most of the threat briefings I saw, you could deal with an individual or individuals who had a clear target. That is the United States, that targeting had a political purpose, how to send a message to the U.S. government by blowing up a building, an embassy. So they could articulate the purpose, and the purpose was clear in their messages and their conversations with their co-conspirators. This is a fundamentally different case. If you read that email, and I have, assuming that it's correct, that email is not coherent. Some of what you heard from other people, including the girlfriend, is not coherent. So I think you're not clearly looking at a case of terror. Unlike New Orleans, you're looking at someone who's emotionally disturbed. EDP, emotionally disturbed person. We saw this all the time.
Yeah, and they've been careful not to actually call it an act of terror at this point, just basically saying that they're still investigating. Bobby, it's interesting. You know, obviously the FBI is going through all his phones, and the sheriff made the point today that they've only really scratched the surface with the phones and the laptops. But with the Tesla Cybertruck, these Teslas are so advanced now that Elon Musk apparently has been able to digitally go into the Tesla and review all of the information. It's almost like it has its own black box where they can see exactly what the Tesla was doing. There's video, there's all sorts of analytics, which I'm just thinking back to all the investigations you've done, Bobby. This is sort of a new component.
Yeah, and when this first happened and the sheriff first said Elon gave them all this help, you know, I used to have to subpoena things for, you know, to get that kind of information. Now Elon Musk is like giving it to them day one. And I'm really excited about this because the electronic information that you get, I mean, it would have taken us weeks, if not months in my day to put a timeline together like that. We would have been reviewing gas station videos and convenience store videos and the like that we've all seen in the past. Now you get this almost real-time timeline and movements. It's very valuable. It's incredible to put that together. And, you know, I mean, I wish I had that kind of assistance, you know, back in the day when I was doing investigations in the 80s and 90s. And I think that Elon Musk is one of these guys who's, you know, going to give that kind of assistance. And these vehicles themselves have such great tracking abilities and things like that I was amazed at what they were able to put together so quickly.
And I don't know if both of you were able to watch the press conference today in Las Vegas. There was also one yesterday. And we'll get to New Orleans in a minute. New Orleans, the press conferences have been a little bit of a mess. Vegas, I found them to be very clear with the sheriff there. And he actually addressed, there's been all these conspiracy theories that have popped up since both of these incidences, especially the one in Vegas. People were wondering why the passport wasn't burned in the car after the explosion. And it was interesting today, Phil, the sheriff really went through one by one and tried to clear some of these things up, even explained where the passport was in the car, explained the way it all went down, which seemed helpful, I think, because people were kind of going on these wild goose chases with what happened, Phil.
Yeah, I find this interesting. Typically, back in the day, you would say, be careful about releasing too many facts until you can sort of move down the road on the case and until you can present a picture. But with the speed of the internet, and one of the big surprises to me about American culture in the past 15 years, the willingness of people to accept conspiracies, you're getting law enforcement, in this case, getting way out in front on addressing facts before they spin out too quickly on the internet. I think to deal with conspiracies that simply wouldn't have gone around 20 years ago. In contrast, as you say, we'll get to a moment to New Orleans where they talked a little bit ahead of the game about what they did not know. That is whether this was a group effort or not. That was a bit of a different case.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.